All right, Mr. Demetrious Johnson, how cool is this? Thank you so much for giving me your time, man. I know you've been running around a bunch of things. Hall of Fame, congrats, big. I was very happy for you on that. How's everything?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Just been extremely busy. Just got home from Florida. About to travel here again. Got a whole bunch of projects going on. So, just trying to stay busy, but everything is good.
Trying to stay busy. How difficult it is that for you? Because you used to, as a fighter, you used to have your like your crazy fighter routine, right? Like people think fighters only work on fight weeks and during the fight, but you guys go to training like 3-4 times a day, and it's how is adjusting to all of that? You still training like constantly, or just to stay in shape?
I just train, just stay in shape. I think those days of me trying to be the best in the world are far behind me. That's 6 days a week, twice a day, some days. Now I'm only training once a day, every single day. And, throughout the hobbies and the children and their sports, and then also the YouTube and the manga. And I have so much going on. That's what makes me so busy because I have all these projects. If I didn't have the projects, then I wouldn't be as busy. But, I'm just so busy doing in so many different things.
Your YouTube is awesome, man. Like it's one of my favorite channels. I'm Brazilian, so I watch a lot of Portuguese channels, and a few English channels. I watch you a lot. I watch MMA Guru a lot, and the Weasel. I don't know how to say that. The Weasley, the Weasel. It's not the Weasel. It's
The
another
Whistler?
guy.
The
Yeah,
Whistler? Maybe?
yeah.
I don't know.
Weasley or something. It's a great channel too. The guy does great analysis and everything like that. Yeah, I love the training
My
thing
journeys.
you've been doing. I saw the one with Khamzat. I have a friend that's at Jackson's, Bernardo
Yeah. Yeah.
Tavolaro, the jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
coach there. He's a good friend. And how was training with Khamzat, man? Like it's and what I like to ask is this, because I was a Renzo Gracie student in New York City for many years. So I used to see GSP popping in and out, the Khabib popping in and out, and I always ask those guys. I say, hey, it's Khabib like everything that everybody talks about, and everyone there was like, oh fuck yeah, this guy, it's on a different level. How about Khamzat? Like from fighter to fighter, like how crazy is this guy's ability to do the crazy things he does?
Yeah. I mean, he's a monster. I mean, his strength, obviously, there's a size discrepancy.
Of
He's
course.
way bigger than me. But he understands, mixed martial arts. He has good hands. He has good jiu-jitsu. So tired. He's good all around. He has good hands, good footwork, good distance control. Jiu-jitsu is really good as well. He has a system that he likes to go and use, and he was able to catch me with that dark stroke. And yeah, man, it was great to be able to come in there and train with one of the best in the world right now. He's a middleweight champion. I've also done some training with Armin Sarukian out there at Jackson Media
Yeah.
House, Central Studio. But it's good, man. I mean, when you travel and you train with so many of these guys, especially the guys who've been doing it their whole life, like Khamzat, Khabib, Islam, Umar Nurmagomedov,
Yeah.
Marab, it's just I started training when I was 18 and I was doing construction at the time. So it's just a huge night day difference.
You had a second job through most of your UFC career, right? Am I wrong?
I had a job. Yeah, I was a construction worker.
Yeah, yeah. But even as a champion, if I think I read that, or I asked you before, we interview a couple of times, but even as a champion, you had a second
No,
job, or no?
no, no. Once I became champion, no second job. I quit my day job when I fought Ian McCall. When I fought Dominic Cruz, that's when I quit my day job.
Okay, okay, yeah. So just going back, circling back to Hamzat and Arman Sarukian. Arman Sarukian doesn't have a fight yet. Hamzat does. He's fighting Strickland. How do you see that fight going? And what are, in your point of view, like what are Strickland real chances of winning this fight? People like the matchup more than I imagined. Like when they say, hey, Strickland might have a good chance here. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think Hamza's going to dominate him. There could be a world where Strickland might beat him. The thing that Strickland does well is that he comes forward, he fights, he keeps it at his pace, he doesn't get taken down much. But I think Hamzat is just going to be able to go out there and do what he does with him because Strickland doesn't really, he can and he doesn't, right? Like when you watch him fight Polo Costa, wasn't a very big, exciting fight. When he fought Izzy, he was able to stifle Izzy. I just don't see him stifling Khamzat Chimaev because Khamzat can wrestle and he's not scared to wrestle. And he also can strike too. When Khamzat fought Kamaru Usman, Kamaru Usman was able to fit a takedown later in the rounds. But once Khamzat was able to get him down, that's when everything kind of went in Khamzat's way. So I have Khamzat winning.
Yeah, I do too. I think Strickland could. The only problem Strickland could impose is that pushing forward thing, like those type of guys they don't like. We just saw like Paulo Costa against Murzakanov. Like they don't like being pressured, right? Like it's like a Russian thing, like a Dagestan thing. These guys don't handle walking backwards like well, so that could be Strickland's chance, but I don't really see it happening though. Like it's
I've never seen Khamzat Chimaev back up, right? Like I think he's different because he's not scared. Even Khabib, like he back up and he'll angle off and go lateral.
Yeah.
But as far as like Izzy's different because he needs to get the space and to line up the shot. Same thing with Paulo Costa. He needs to back up and get the space and line up the shot. Where those two don't wrestle, where Khabib and Khamzat wrestle, and that's the difference. The equalizer against Sean Strickland, that which Khamzat does, he'll wrestle. Like he's not going to allow him to push him back. He's going to shoot, and Strickland might sprawl, and then that's where the fight's going to take place. Is if he does shoot, if Strickland sprawls, what does Khamzat do after that? Does he turn the corner, dump him? Does he pull guard, or do they stand on their feet and strike? So that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like Khamzat, he shoots from crazy angles too that people are just not used to, right? Like he will shoot. Strickland will stuff that before he's even ready. Khamzat is shooting again, like diagonally or like a position that doesn't really make sense physically. Like you look at it like, how the hell is this guy this big doing that? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. What was your take on UFC 327 that just finished?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good card. I try to look at the UFC, any mixed martial arts event, and just look at it as an event. And I thought it was good. I thought the Josh Hogan fight was great. I thought it was crazy how Carlos Oberg beat Prochazka with the knee being blown out.
Yeah.
And then who else fought in that card?
Paulo Costa did really well against Murzakanov. I thought it reminded me Costa from the old days kind of thing, like very aggressive, great body kicks.
Yeah, I think him going up to 205 is way better for him, just because he's a big dude. I mean, he was bigger than Azamat. So overall, I thought it was a solid card. I had nothing to complain about. I thought it was solid. I enjoyed it, and it was good.
You still watch a lot of fights? You enjoy watching fights?
Not really. I mean, I do watch fights, but not really because I work so much. Like I'm constantly like I did about 3 hours of content yesterday. Yeah, 3 hours of content yesterday. So for me, I'm like I push myself away from it, and I work on other stuff, right? So. But other than that, I don't watch as much. I watch my favorite fighters fight, but for the most part, I'm always watching for content.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of work right now, right? Like yeah. Do you see yourself taking your channel in another direction, or it doesn't make sense?
I don't think it makes sense. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I enjoy making the content. I just don't do it. I just don't do. I will take it in a different direction. I do the content I wanted to, and I'll keep it that way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What was your and I'm gonna say favorite interview just for the lack of a better word, but I want to say favorite in a way that someone that you really want to talk with, not just for the channel or someone just says like, shit, I really want to talk to this guy. You
One
guys
second, one
ready?
second.
You have to
Okay.
go.
No. So I think for me, like an interview that I'd love to do down the line is honestly, I like just talking to everybody. Like I think everybody brings a different perspective of their journey or of life. And so for me, I would love to talk to Dwayne Johnson. I think Kevin Hart would be great. Drewski would be great. I've talked to GSP. I'd love to talk to Habib. Um, I'd love to talk to Il Deporia, all those guys. I think
Yeah,
everybody can provide a different type of conversation, and how do they battle, how do they navigate their career in mixed martial arts? And not even mixed martial arts, but their career in business and just I think you can have a conversation with anybody in the right setting.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Talking to these guys, anything you look back in your life or career, not life, but that you say, shit, I could have done that, or I wish I've done that.
Um, no, I don't think so. I think everybody I talk to, not one person has done something that I wish I would have done. I've learned a lot from people, and I try to take that because I'm still young. Um, but nothing that I've heard that I meant, damn, I wish I would have did that.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm gonna start here. I have quick questions with
Hmm?
quick answers, and then we're gonna do that favorite fighter thing, and then we'll be done.
Okay.
Uh, Best fight of your life,
Best fight of my life or
of
at
your
once
life, or no, your fight.
um, I'll just say the second Adriano fight.
Okay, that was pretty cool. A lot of pressure on that, like you have to bounce back and
No,
I'm not. I
no,
don't want to sound cliche, but like take back your. 'Cause I think we talked before that fight,
yeah.
and
I think I think just the sequence of the ending of that fight is so damn good that it was just perfect. It was just complete flow state. Um, I, at that point in time, I had put a lot of pressure on me because things in my life weren't going to change. Right. I
uh-huh.
think when you get to a point in your career, you realize like even if you lose and you're trying, you don't lose a lot of stardom or you don't lose a lot of, I guess, equity. But if you lose and you didn't try or you didn't look good, then you kind of lose your aura, I guess you could say. So I felt like with that fight, I kind of showed people that I was still one of the best in the world by doing it such as, if I would have won by a decision, it would have been different. But since I won
Mm.
by a beautiful knockout, I think that makes it one of my favorite fights.
You mentioned aura there. Do you think Prochazka lost his aura this weekend with?
No. He does it all the time. He gets caught all the time like that. So all he's got to do is go in the wood and scream at the fucking mountains, and people are still gonna love him.
I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me how he has this spot with a big rock where he goes and he uses that as a punch bag so he can get the power from the rock. I was like, man, I love that.
Yeah, yeah. I love your Prohaska, but like I said, I think for him, he will lose no aura. It's a habit he does all the time with his hands down. He gets caught. It's part of the game.
Yeah, he does get caught a lot. So, but I was still surprised because that fight was almost in his pocket, and he managed to blow that up.
Yeah.
uh, the worst fight of your life.
Mm. Probably the fight against Kyoji Horiguchi. I always say this because I was just sick as fuck. I didn't. Like, it's the only time I fought, and I was like, I don't want to be here.
Really? Huh? You don't
Yeah.
have that option, right? Like I always say that like fighters have such a shitty day at work because you don't get the luxury of say, hey, I'm gonna call in sick today because I don't feel so sharp today. I'll be back tomorrow. There's no way. You gotta get in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just I was just sick, and I just didn't like care to be there because I was sick. But we rallied. We ended up getting the finish, And yeah, that's the only time that was probably my worst fight. I broke my hand, my rib, my leg, but that was the only time in the fight I was like, I don't fucking want to be here right now. But we got the submission, we got $50,000, and we defended the belt.
What do you got? $30,000?
No, $50,000 submission bonus.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yep.
got it. All right. A huge fight that almost happened and nobody knows about it.
A huge fight. Probably I'll probably say Bradley Martin. We're trying to make that happen, but it never came to, fruition. But it was very, very no contract or anything like that. It was just discussions.
Just discussion. Okay.
Yeah, that.
Not counting one.
Or the me and Armor Sarukian grappled at Hype Fighting in Brazil.
Ooh.
Like, he was like, you want to come grapple? They pay good money. I was like, I'm not grappling you. You're too fucking big. He goes,
exactly.
He was like, it's exhibition. It's for fun. I was like, I'm not coming to Brazil so you can choke me out. That almost happened. I said, no. I was like, Armin, I'm not happening, man.
Look, you are definitely like a super high level grappler, but at your guy's level, size makes a difference, right? Like
1,000%.
When they say jiu-jitsu, it's for the smaller, the thin guys. It is if the other guy doesn't know jiu-jitsu.
Right. And if the other guy jiu-jitsu isn't as good as, like, if my jiu-jitsu is better than somebody, then I should be able to beat them. But if my jiu-jitsu is better than them and they're a little bit bigger than me, I'm going to struggle. If my jiu-jitsu is better than them and their jiu-jitsu is just as good as mine and they're bigger and athletic, that's when it says size does make a difference, Don't get me wrong, there's always a chance, but the chance is very, very minimal.
You still planning on competing on IBJJF events or anything like that?
Well, right now, I'm not interested. It just I don't have a calling to do jiu-jitsu like I do, because I'm only training once a week, and my projects have taken majority of my passion, so that's what I've been focusing on.
You're good, like you left, like you don't have that itch for competition anymore, right?
No, just because it's nothing changes if you win or lose. Like, my life doesn't change, so that's why I don't care to compete, if that makes sense. Like, I win IBJJF Gold World. I don't know if my life would change or if I feel different. So I started picking up pickleball, and that's been very fun.
Started what?
Pickleball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's been fun. I've been enjoying that. I got worked by a state champion in Florida. She beat me 0 out of 7 games. It was horrible, but it was a great time.
That's pretty cool. Were you a weird guy, like like they always say, like the stories you hear, like about Michael Jordan, and like crazy competitive and stuff like that, because they always say like the goats of the sports, right? Like whatever sport, like, and you are one, either you like it or not. Those crazy guys are like, they're super competitive, almost like in a weird kind of way. Like, did you have anything weird like that, or you seem like such a chill guy? Like,
I don't think so. That's a question for Matt to ask, because he saw most of my training. But I was pretty chill. Like, I worked hard and I was a great athlete, but not super competitive. Like, I will lose rounds in the gym and be a little bit frustrated, but I wasn't super competitive.
But that's good, right? Like, if you understand that losing rounds is great for your training, that's the purpose of training, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I had no ego and no weird, like, competitive quirks about myself. Like, I would be a good driller and I'll want to understand stuff. But as far as competitiveness, like Michael Jordan, nah.
You hear the stuff about Michael Jordan too, right? There's some there's some jiu-jitsu guys from Brazil, Valid Ismail. I don't know if you know him. He used to be he's a Carson Gracie black belt, but at the time they used to have the Carson Gracie Academy in Brazil. They say, like, if he loses a training to you, he will go nuts. He will call you next day. Hey, you coming to training today? And people are like, hey man, I'm not feeling so. No, I'll pick you up. I'll go pick you up. I'll bring you to training just so he can train and try to win against. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Not counting one of your own fights, I want to see a fight where you would change the result.
I would change the results?
Yeah, like something unfortunate. Like the people in Brazil, the fight they picked the most is Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman won, and Aldo and McGregor won.
I mean,
well, not one. That was the only one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think every fight that happened the way it played out. Yeah, I mean, maybe Alex Pantoja versus Joshua Van, but it
That's
happened.
a great example. Yeah.
Yeah, he threw a high kick. He pushed him over, broke his shoulder. Maybe that one, but at the same time, you can't rewrite if I could rewrite history, I guess that would be one. But yeah, I've never really looked at it that way.
So what about one of your fights?
No, what happened happened.
I was in California with Paulo watching your fight with Cejudo. How what do you think about that fight? There was a lot of controversy at the time, right?
Oh, that fight's way behind me, man. I'm happy it happened the way it did because I went to one championship, made way more money. So
I love that.
I ain't worried about that. I haven't thought about that since
Nam. The weirdest thing you ever done for money?
Weirdest thing ever done for money?
Yeah, maybe before becoming a professional fighter or something. I heard all kind of crazy stories.
Man, I mean, pick up dog poop, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that's good.
I was a pretty honest worker. I didn't do anything I wouldn't, I used to, when I first got my first job, I would sweep golf courses, and on the weekends I'll go to the boss's house and I mow his lawn and pick up the dog poop and then do all projects at his house. And then,
okay.
Yeah, I love.
When you were a champion, you never got like a crazy offer from like a billionaire to say, "Hey, come, can you?" True story. Okay, I'm not gonna say who it was, but this guy reached out, say, "Look, I always wanted to fight, but a professional fighter. I'm gonna pay you, like I don't know, like $1 million, but you gotta fight me like 100%, like you would fight someone for a title." All right, and the guy went there. No protection, just like MMA gloves. He got beat up in 8 seconds, and he said it was the happiest day of his life because he always wanted to try. I was like, oh, okay. He said like that was the weirdest thing he done for.
Good for him, but I have never got that. Never got it.
Okay.
I would love to take that, but yeah, no. I mean, I've got like crazy offers to do like some cool things, and I just don't accept them. But I don't think so. I think I would say dog poop.
All right, dog poop it is. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Was there something that bothered you during the fight week, and something that you really loved that you only get on fight week?
I would say the things I hated the most were the interviews, and then the thing I loved during the fight week is just being able to, get the body ready, the weight cut, and just going out there competing.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Your biggest idol and your biggest fear?
My biggest idol? Well, I have a lot of idols, I just can't point, there's so many of them, but, I would put probably Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a big idol of mine.
Okay.
Biggest fear, not being able to see my kids grow up. Probably that.
Cool. I guess you increase your chances a lot by retiring in a good stage of a career too, right? Like that's
yeah. Hopefully, you never know. Hopefully, you gotta still stay healthy.
All right, just so we finish now. Now, your favorite fighter, for whatever reason, that doesn't mean one will beat another or anything like that. Okay, I'll start with Alex Volkanovski or Charles Oliveira.
Ooh, I like them both.
You gotta pick one.
I'll go with Charles Oliveira because I love that he grapples and he has a lot of submissions.
Okay. Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev?
Islam Makhachev. Islam is he does a good job of Islam. Are you saying who would win?
Whatever you want. Like it doesn't mean you win because the list goes in weird ways. So it's just like who you think it's either a better fighter or a fighter you like better. It's hey, I just like him better.
Yeah, I'll go to Islam.
I know it's crazy to compare Charles and Volk, you know, like so it's just like whoever you prefer. Nothing.
Yeah, gotcha. I'll go Islam.
All right. Islam Makhachev or Ilia Topuria?
Fuck. Man, that's hard.
I know. And you didn't make the list for obvious reasons, but
of course. Who would win? I will go Islam.
Okay. Oh, cool. So now Islam Makhachev or Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Islam.
All right. Islam Makhachev or George St-Pierre?
George.
George St-Pierre or Kamaru Usman?
George.
George St-Pierre or Anderson Silva?
George.
George St-Pierre or Israel Adesanya?
I have to go George still.
All right. George or Alex Pereira?
George. George
St-Pierre or Jon Jones?
George.
All right, man. Cool. I love George too. So that was it. That's it. That's it.
George is great. I like him. I like all those guys. I mean, all those guys do something very unique inside the cage. But George has always fascinated me with his athleticism and how he's able to do certain things in the octagon.
I agree. I interviewed George many times. I met him in New York at Renzo's, and this guy is such a great human being and a crazy work ethic, right? Like this guy is like even today. It's great. Look at this guy's shape. It's crazy. He can and what I think is the most is like it's time to stop. That's it. I'm leaving on top. See you later. No money will make me come back, and that's it. I'm healthy. Yep. I'm rich. I'm okay. See you guys. Yep. Right? Yep. Like
exactly.
Kind of what you did too. I admire that a lot. Khabib Nurmagomedov, and because I think when they say legacy, of course, like your legacy, like Anderson Silva's legacy, or even Israel Adesanya now for the conversation legacy, like whatever they did, it's untouched, right? Like it's like one of the greatest of all time. But at some point, extending that, I think it hurts. Maybe it hurts more the fan, and I get the guy feels that urge to keep fighting. And I still look like Anderson, for example. Anderson is my biggest. I was talking to him, and I said that offline. I said, look, you brought to me like the greatest moments of my MMA fan career. Mm-hmm. And one of the saddest moments too, like seeing you on your knees at a fucking empty Apex, like half light up, like retiring, crying. Say that was fucking brutal. We didn't need to see that.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, but you got the one more. I can do one more. And
hey, it's a gift and a curse. I think being an athlete is probably the easiest way to make money because you train and you fight and you get a big check. But at the same time, it makes you want to stay. Not saying he needs the money, but I think for a lot of athletes, when they go to that next transition in their lives, it's very hard to create a business and be able to recreate that velocity of income to match what it was when you were fighting. And I think that's one of the things that fighters struggle with.
Yeah, like, I'll fight again, I'll get $1 million, and then I'll be done.
Oh, right? yeah. No, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. So it's part of the game, and I understand it, and it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I agree. Man, thank you so much for the time and for doing this. I really appreciate you. I love your channel. So anyone watching here, I'll invite you to subscribe to the Demetrious Johnson's channel. I'll leave the link on a comment here or in the description of the video. And that's it, man. I appreciate you. Take care, man.